Okay, students, before the break, we had completed a full question, full in the sense some considerable parts of the market equilibrium we covered. And now I'm going to discuss one of the past papers in which we had a very perfect question in market equilibrium. So let's see. Okay. So this is your 2020 past paper, 2020. So in 2020, second question, fourth part. Okay. In a small town, the market for bread is represented by the following demand and supply equations. QD 110 minus P and QS minus 40 plus 2P. Find the equilibrium price and quantity in this market. Calculate the total surplus at equilibrium. Calculate the price elasticity of demand for bread at the price of ₹20. Now we will do this question and I'm going to include some more parts also. Okay. So first of all, equilibrium price and quantity. Equilibrium price and quantity. Can you find the equilibrium price and quantity quickly? Right. So equilibrium price and quantity, when it comes to equilibrium price and quantity, 110 minus P is equal to minus 40 plus 2P. Okay, 110 minus P is equal to minus 40 plus 2P. So this minus 40 comes to the left side. Therefore, 150 is equal to 3P. 150 is equal to 3P. So equilibrium price 150 divided by 3. Therefore, equilibrium price is 50 rupees. Okay, equilibrium price is 50 rupees. Then, when you come to the equilibrium quantity, see this QD is equal to 110 minus P, then 110 minus 50. So, answer is 60 units. So, equilibrium price is 50, equilibrium quantity is 60. So, for this, you get 2 marks. Very simple question. Demand function 110 minus P, supply function minus 40 plus 2P. Upper minus 40 left side 150 ahum. So minus P right side 2P plus 1P 3P ahum. Therefore, equilibrium price 150 over 3 is 50. Equilibrium quantity, you are substituting 50 rupees in the demand function. So 110 minus P is equal to 60. That is okay, no? Right. Calculate the total surplus at equilibrium. Calculate the total surplus at equilibrium. So total surplus, when you calculate, total surplus in the sense, they are asking the economic surplus. Total surplus means economic surplus they are asking. So if I just show you a rough diagram for this, hope you can clearly watch this. A rough diagram if I show you, just a normal demand curve and a normal supply curve. And maximum demand price you have to find out. Maximum demand price. Maximum demand price, when you calculate the consumer surplus, maximum demand price is the first thing you have to do. So maximum demand price is QD is equal to 0. QD 110 minus P. Therefore, 110 minus P is equal to 0. Therefore, price equals, okay, price equals 110. Okay, maximum demand price 110. Already equilibrium price and quantity. See this equilibrium price 50 we had. Equilibrium quantity 60 we have. Now maximum demand price we calculated, that is 110. Okay. Adhe madri, right? Now consumer surplus when I calculate, and thiruma children, CS calculation, you must remember only one thing in your mind. Q into delta P over 2. CS calculation, Q into delta P over 2. So Q into delta P over 2 that on a mind like one. But when you are writing answers in the exam, when you are writing answers, see this Q means QD. Consumer surplus la Q means QD no. Delta P nishonna maximum demand price minus buyer's price. Maximum demand price minus buyer's price divided by 2. Consumer surplus QD into maximum demand price minus buyer's price over 2. So QD here 60. QD 60. Maximum demand price 110 minus buyer's price is the equilibrium price 50. So divided by 2. QD is 60. Maximum demand price is 110. Okay. Maximum demand price 110. Buyer's price is 50 divided by 2. Therefore, you get 60 into 60 over 2. 60 into 60 over 2. So the answer will be 60 divided by 2 is 30. So 1,800. 1,800. Consumer surplus 1,800 is coming. Did you understand? Okay, now we will continue. Up 1,800. Consumer surplus 1,800. Okay, that is this portion 1,800. Then we have to go to the producer surplus. Okay, we should go to the producer surplus now. Producer surplus, when you calculate, I have told you, you must remember only a simple equation in your mind. Adennanda producer surplus. Producer surplus Q into delta P over 2. In producer surplus, Q in the sense QS. Okay. In producer surplus, Q means QS. Delta P seller's price minus minimum supply price, seller's price minus minimum supply price over 2. Seller's price minus minimum supply price over 2. But QS வந்து 60. QS is 60 into seller's price is 50. You have to know the minimum supply price. How to calculate minimum supply price? Minus 40 plus 2p is equal to 0. Okay? Minus 40 plus 2p is equal to 0. So 2p is equal to 40. Price is equal to 20. Okay? 2p is equal to 40. Price equals 20. Appa minimum supply price வந்து 20 வரும். Okay? Minimum supply price 20. Then 60 into 50 minus 60 into 50 minus 20. 50 minus 20 divided by right. Therefore, 60 into 30 over 2. So 900 is coming. Producer surplus is 900. Consumer surplus is 1800. Producer surplus 900. Consumer surplus 1800. Therefore, total surplus 1800 plus 900. Total surplus 1800 plus 900. That is 2700 is coming. Okay. Total surplus. Okay. Total surplus CS plus PS, no? CS plus PS. Therefore, CS 1800, PS 900. So 2700. 2700 is the total surplus. See the marks allocation. They are giving 4 marks for this. For total surplus calculation, marks allocation is 4. Then see the C part. Calculate the price elasticity. Calculate the price elasticity of demand at the price of 60. Is it the equilibrium price? Is it the equilibrium price? No. Equilibrium price we got 50. Okay. Equilibrium price 50. And a question PED at 60. Therefore, we have to calculate first of all, we have to calculate for the price of 60, the QD you must calculate. Because QD on the equilibrium quantity because 60 on the equilibrium price. Therefore, 110 minus P. So 110 minus price is what? Price is 60 now. Therefore, what is the QD? 50. Can you understand? So QD is coming as 50. As usual, you will calculate the P. So PED is equal to delta QD or delta P into P over QD. Therefore, it's going to be B into P over QD. So B into P over QD. So B is minus 1 because 110 minus P dane. So B on the minus 1 into price is 60. They have requested to calculate at 60. 60 rupees you get the quantity 50. Therefore, the answer 60 over 50. So 60 over 50 in the sense. 60 divided by 50 means 6 over 5. 605. So 1, 5, 1.2. So the PED at equilibrium is 1.2. So very easily, okay, very easily 10 marks you can score. Did you understand? Okay. Do you all have any doubt here? Yeah, several doubts you have asked. Many of you have asked different doubts. So I will come to answer all these doubts one by one. First of all, when you are calculating PED, we are using B into P over QD. நல்லா ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கணும். Demand curve on the straight line. We are using the straight line demand curve. Straight line demand curve on எடுத்தா, whatever the prices you might go, இந்த டிமாண்ட் கர்வ் எடுத்தா நீங்க எந்தெந்த பிரைஸ்ல வேணாலும் சரி பிஇடி கால்குலேட் பண்ணிடும். ஆனா எல்லா இடத்துலயும் ஸ்லோப் வந்து ஈக்குவல். The slope is not equal. Demand curve எப்படி வரும்? Demand curve should be like this, or like this. It has to come. Then only the slope is different. But when it comes to this case, we are discussing straight line demand curve. So when it comes to straight line demand curve, the slope is always same. So one doubt is asked about that. Another doubt is asked now, and again, this wanted to be explained. So please listen carefully. Now, PED is equal to delta QD over delta P into P over QD. All of you know that equation. Then, when it comes to PED, delta QD over delta P into P over QD. In that equation, delta QD over delta P is B. Upper B into P over QD. இதில் B என்னவாகுது? -1. Because why? QD is equal to 110 minus P. Minus P னு சொன்னா -1P தான். So -1. Into price must be the given price 60. நீங்க 60 rupees demand function substitute பண்ணா அந்த quantity வந்து 50. அப்ப -1 into 60 over 50, that is minus 1.2. Okay. Now, do you all have any other doubts? Right. Now, students, I thought of little continuing this question. இங்க past paperல வந்த question 2020ல வந்த parts இவ்வளவுதான். Anyway, இதை நான் கொஞ்சம் two little bit more points we will put and try to discuss this question. அப்போ உங்களுக்கு ஒரு கொஸ்டின் நீங்க அடுத்த கொஸ்டின் அப்ப இதுல ஏபிசி 3 parts no, it's like D part. Okay, D part மாதிரி இருங்கோ. Excess demand and excess supply functions. First of all, see whether you can find these excess demand and excess supply functions. First, try this excess demand and excess supply functions. excess demand and excess supply function. You all know that excess demand is the one QD is higher than QS. Excess supply QS is higher than QD. Okay, check your answers. Excess demand is equal to QD minus QS. Excess demand is equal to QD minus QS. QD 110 minus P minus QS, open bracket, minus 40 plus 2P plus 2P. Therefore, it will be 110 minus P. With minus, we are removing the bracket. So minus into minus. Minus into minus plus saham 40. Minus into plus minus 2P. Okay. QD 110 minus P. QS minus 40 plus 2P. Up excess demand QD minus QS. 110 minus P minus QS is minus 40 plus 2P, which is in the bracket. Then my 110 minus P, we are removing the bracket with minus. So minus into minus plus 40, minus into plus minus, that is 2P. So finally, 110 plus 40 is 150, minus P minus 2P in the minus 3P. This is the one excess demand function. Okay. Adhe madri, excess supply function when you take excess supply function, excess supply is equal to QS minus QD. Excess supply is equal to QS minus QD. QS function at minus 40 plus 2P. Minus 40 plus 2P minus demand function at 110 minus P. Now we have to remove the brackets and we have to simplify the answer. So minus 40 plus 2P. With this minus, we are removing the bracket. Minus 110 minus into minus plus P. Then what happens is minus 40 minus 110. So minus 150 plus 2P plus P. That means 3P. So you can understand you can observe here excess demand 150 minus 3P, excess supply minus 150 plus 3P. Excess demand 150 minus 3P, excess supply minus 150 plus 3P. Appa excess demand function உங்களுக்கு தந்தா excess supply function easy calculate பண்ணீர், easy present பண்ணீர். Excess demand la A value வந்து 1 plus la varum, excess supply la A value minus la varum, initial value. Then anga minus 3P, inga plus 3P. Can you understand? Okay. So now we have discussed the excess demand and excess supply. யாருக்காவது டவுட் ஈக்கிறேன்டா எக்ஸஸ் டிமாண்ட் ஃபங்க்ஷன் எப்படி இருக்கு excess supply function எப்படி இருக்குன்னு ஏதாவது டவுட் ஈக்கிறேன்டா ask now itself because you don't have another chance to learn all these things. திரும்பவும் நான் சொல்றேன், this 3 months crash program we are hoping to cover up the whole area at least to get ready 6 essay type questions and to score minimum 35 marks in the MCQ. இதுக்குள்ள planning தான் இது. Therefore everybody please attend the class with that intention. Be serious and whatever the doubts you have, please ask and study properly. Okay. Yeah, if there is equilibrium, there is no excess demand, no excess supply. In the question, 60 rupees கேட்டதால் இங்க இந்த இடத்துல ஒரு excess demand வரும். இப்போ for example, ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு வேலை நாங்க செஞ்சு பார்ப்போம். பாருங்க, calculate the price elasticity of demand for bread at the price of 16 KD தானே. இதை நாங்க இப்போ D பார்த்தால் நாங்க excess demand, excess supply function எடுத்தோம். இப்போ E part போடுவோம். E part calculate excess demand at rupees 60. Calculate excess demand at rupees 60. 60 rupees la excess demand calculate பண்ணும். 60 rupees la excess demand calculate பண்ணும். இப்போ நாங்க என்ன செய்யணும்? QD is equal to, நீங்க QD value பார்க்கணும். QD is equal to 110 minus price is 60, no? So 60. So the answer is 50. 50 units. Then we have to find out the QS. So QS function, you know, minus 40 plus 2 should be within bracket plus 2 into 60. Then our minus 40, 2 into 60, sorry. So 120, therefore 8 units. 8 units, that is QS. So excess demand. Excess demand. The question is இன்னொரு correction உண்டு. Excess demand இல்ல, excess supply னு மாத்து. Excess supply. அப்ப excess supply is equal to QS minus QD. The QS is 80. QS is 80. QD is 50. So the answer is 30 units. Okay. அப்ப நீங்க நல்லா ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கணும், equilibrium இல்லாத ஒரு பிரைஸ்ல excess demand வரோமேலும் excess supply வரோமேலும். equilibrium இல்லாத ஒரு பிரைஸ்ல excess demandம் வரும், excess supplyம் வரும். இப்போ ஒரு விஷயத்தை நீங்க நல்லா ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கணும். I have told this before also. இப்போ 60 rupeesல excess supply calculate பண்ணும். என்ன ரீசன்டா? market equilibrium price is 50, ஆனா தந்திக்கிற price 60. equilibrium price 50, ஆனா 60ல excess supply வரும். அப்ப whenever a price is fixed above the equilibrium, there will be excess supply. Whenever there is a price fixed below the equilibrium, there will be excess demand. சொன்னீங்களா? equilibrium price மேல என்ன price fix பண்ணினாலும் practical excess supply தான் வரும். equilibrium price மேல whatever the price is fixed, the excess supply will come. அதே மாதிரி equilibrium price கீழ whatever the price fixed, excess demand will come. அதை நீங்க இன்னொரு பார்ட்ல நீங்க போட்டு பாருங்க. எக்ஸஸ் டிமாண்ட். ரைட். ஒரு டவுட் ஒன்று வந்து என்னன்னா, பிரைஸ் தரலண்டா மேக்ஸிமம் டிமாண்ட் பிரைஸே மினிமம் சப்ளை பிரைஸுமா பிரைஸா இருக்குன்னு சொல்லி கேட்டீங்க. No, they will definitely give a price. They will definitely give a price to calculate the CSPS. அந்த CSPS related doubt தான் நான் in between நான் சொன்னேன். Right. அப்ப excess supply at 60 தானே? Okay. இப்ப write down another question. If part ஆயிடுங்க. If part. If part. The question if part. Calculate excess demand at rupees 20. Excess demand at rupees 20. Quickly calculate and tell me the answer. Excess demand at rupees 20. Okay, so you have to calculate the excess demand. So let us find out the QD first. QD 110 minus 20 வரும். 110 minus 20 தானே? And the price 20 ல தந்திக்குது. So then 90 units QD. அதே மாதிரி QS when you calculate minus 40 plus 2 into 20. About 2 into 20, 40, 40 minus 40, 0. So excess demand QD minus QS. QD is 90. QS is 0. So the answer is 90 units. Okay? Answer is 90 units. Everybody understood? Correct, no? Okay, students, now listen. In this, I'm just showing you right. In market equilibrium, this is the demand curve. This is the supply curve. This equilibrium price coming. Equilibrium quantity is coming. This is the maximum demand price P1. This is the minimum supply price P2, this area consumer surplus, and this area what I am showing in the blue color is producer surplus. அதே மாதிரி consumer surplus ஓட consumer expenditure நீங்க add பண்ணினா, when you add the consumer surplus with consumer expenditure, what you get is total utility. Okay, you get total utility of consumers. நீங்க மறக்கப்படாது. Consumer surplus plus consumer expenditure. Consumer surplus plus consumer expenditure is equal to total utility. Our total utility in வார நேரம் consumer expenditure in the full area, the green color rectangles area is consumer expenditure. அதே மாதிரி the maroon color area is consumer surplus. Then the whole green color area, is consumer utility, otherwise total utility. அதே மாதிரி you can see one more thing. One more you can see. This is the producer surplus. அதே மாதிரி what I am showing now in the black color is the total revenue as well. Consumer expenditure, producers revenue equal தானே market equilibrium. அப்ப இது full total revenue. Total revenue what is shown in blue color is producer surplus. Then the remaining area, okay, remaining area, total variable cost. Therefore, very important thing, see this total revenue minus producer surplus is equal to total variable cost of producers. Total revenue. இல்லாட்டி நீங்க producer surplus calculate பண்ணா இன்னொரு மெத்தட் என்னன்னா total revenue minus total variable cost is producer surplus. இது ஃபுல்லா total revenue. From that producer surplus, if you minus, you will get total variable cost. Did you understand? Listen to me carefully. See this. In this is the demand curve. I'll explain this properly again. Demand curve. Demand. Then this is the supply curve. Then when the demand and supply meet equilibrium price, and this is equilibrium quantity. Okay. So let's say A, B, C, D. ஏடா இதுல consumer surplus in the area. Consumer surplus is A. Sure. Consumer surplus A. Producer surplus, that is B. Economic surplus. Economic surplus A plus B. A plus B. Consumer expenditure, which area? Consumer expenditure B plus C. Can you understand? Price into quantity dane B plus C. Appa consumer utility, that is total utility of consumers. அது வந்து consumer surplus plus consumer expenditure. அப்ப என்ன வரும்? A plus B plus C. Consumer utility, the total utility of consumers, ABC. அதே மாதிரி producer revenue, the total revenue of producers, that is B plus C. உங்களுக்கு தெரியும், government இல்லாத situationல consumer expenditure and producer revenue are same. Okay, so producer revenue B plus C. Total variable cost வந்து total revenue minus producer surplus தானே. அப்ப total revenue வந்து B plus C. So that it will be like this. B plus C is the total revenue. Minus producer surplus is B. So the remaining area C is the total variable cost. So those who need this, just take a screenshot and later you can review. And many of you all who are attending the classes, you have studied this before and we are just polishing the information. இது அறவே தெரியாட்டியும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை. இது இந்த என்னண்டே தெரியாட்டி கூட today you learn, that is what very important. Okay, A is consumer surplus, B producer surplus, A plus B economic surplus, consumer expenditure B plus C, consumer utility A, B, C, producer revenue B plus C, total variable cost B plus C minus B is C. Understood? Okay, students, now in market equilibrium, we are moving to another important section. இப்போ நாங்கள் இந்த 3 monthsல வந்து லாஸ்ட் ஒரு 10-15 years பாஸ் பேப்பர்ஸ் அனலைஸ் பண்ணி அதில் கன்க்ளூஷன் என்னன்னா எந்தெந்த ஏரியாஸ் ரெகுலராக வரும், அந்த ஏரியாஸ் இந்த இயர் எப்படி எப்படி வரையுன்ற ஒரு எக்ஸ்பெக்டேஷனில் இந்த 3 monthsல நாங்கள் நிறைய ஒர்க் பண்ண போகிறோம். தேர்ஃபோர் அதில் ஒரு ஏரியா, த மோஸ்ட் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் ஏரியா is market equilibrium. In the market equilibrium, all the areas we have so far covered, and there's a small section remaining. From that area also, we have got regular questions. Therefore, that also we are going to discuss. I think konjam kavanama paaru. Okay. Okay, so that is changes in market equilibrium. Okay, changes in market equilibrium. Very important area, changes in market equilibrium. Midananga system I notalam elidi decorate pani padikkiradhukku we don't have time. So all of you having note, I know that. Otherwise, those who don't have note also, but I am going to give now some short notes like mind map. That is more than enough. Try to understand carefully. Okay, so when it comes to the changes in market equilibrium, you can see there are three different cases. First case, change in demand. Okay. Second case, change in supply. Okay. Third, we have change in demand and supply. Change in demand, change in supply, change in demand and supply. Like that, there are three situations. In the three situations, some students are there, they are writing notes, drawing a lot and keeping that with number of pages and memorizing. And if you do that, in case if you forget this, you cannot understand anything. Financial technique follow. Don't memorize anything. So whenever information asked, try to answer. For example, or question mark. Demand increases while supply remains constant. How the market equilibrium can be. Demand increases while the supply remains constant. The demand this is supply then you can see where the market equilibrium realizes. So this is the equilibrium price and this is the equilibrium quantity. Now change in demand while the supply remains constant. Change in demand while the supply remains constant. Demand change, let's say demand has been shifted to the right. Demand has been shifted to the right. D1. So demand has been shifted to the right. Demand increased. Okay. Now listen, in this diagram, the new equilibrium. The new equilibrium is met here. This is Q1 and this is P1. But what has happened here is price increased, quantity increased. All the information. Okay. Price increased, quantity increased. As the result of an increase in demand, there's an increase in price and increase in quantity. But decrease in demand decrease in price, decrease in quantity. I'll memorize you can just draw and see. Understood? Whenever demand is increasing, the demand curve will be shifted to the right side. Whenever demand is decreasing, the demand curve will be shifted to the left side. Okay, Dani? Okay. So now in the same way, in case if the situation is coming as demand constant, supply changes. Let's say, for example, demand is constant, but supply changes. Now see, very easy. It's not hard. This is demand curve. This is supply curve. So you can understand it is the equilibrium price. Okay. Equilibrium quantity, supply curve, demand curve. Now, in case if the supply is falling, okay, if the supply is falling, supply will be shifted to the left. So it's going to be S1. Therefore, new price will be P1, new quantity will be Q1. Okay, new price is P1, new quantity is Q1. So what is happening here? Price is increasing, quantity is decreasing. There's a price increase and the quantity decrease. Some students are there, diagram memorize பண்றது, quantity price க்கு என்ன நடக்குன்றத memorize பண்றது, இதெல்லாம் செய்யுது. You know, we have just around 3 months for the exam. So in the 3 months, இதெல்லாம் நீங்க memorize பண்ண போனா, definitely will be ending with very poor results. Therefore, you people what should do now is no memory, not memorizing any of these things. What you have to do is, இப்போ instruction வந்தா, அதுக்குள்ள drawing செஞ்சு காட்டுறது. Let's say, for example, example ஒரு question வாரன்னு சொல்லுங்க. First, I will just tell you an instruction here. Let's see an instruction. It's like this. For a product, there is a fall in cost of production. Okay, there is a fall in cost of production. What will happen to price and quantity? You will then question one. Okay, what will happen to price and quantity? So see this, for a product, there's a fall in cost of production. What will happen to price and quantity? இதை நீங்க மார்க்கெட் ஈக்குலிபிரியம் டயக்ராம்ல காட்டணும். இதுக்கு மெமரைஸ் பண்ண தேவையில்லை. You can easily understand market equilibrium diagram when you காட்டுறேன்டா. There's a product. See this. It has a demand curve. It has a supply curve. So initially equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity are available. Now, for a product, there is a fall in cost of production. Cost of production decrease ஆகிறது வந்து demand ஓட related supply ஓட related. Fall in cost of production related to demand or supply? Quickly reply. Fall in cost of production related to demand or supply? Okay. So it's related to supply. So if the cost of production decreases, supply will increase. Now, if the cost of production increases, supply will increase. So supply will be shifted to the right side. So after shifting to the right side, the new price is P1. The price has fallen down. New quantity is Q1. The quantity has increased. அப்ப இதை ட்ரோ பண்ணி ஆன்சர் எடுக்கிறதுக்கு do you want to memorize? Absolutely no. Memorize பண்றது வந்து it's a useless work here. Just you follow the instruction, whatever things they say, you just follow. Okay. So what will happen if the cost of production, now falling cost of production, the cost of production decreases, our supply increase. Adhe madri, if there's a rise in cost of production, supply will decrease. Supply decrease na, supply will be shifted to the left side. Understood? I'll show you another situation. See this situation? Let's say it's like this. For a product, there is an expectation. Otherwise, let's say for a product there is a fall in, or there's a drop or a fall in fashion. That means this product's fashion is faded now. And the product fashion illam poidu. Right? Ipa quick drop pani paaruங்க. For a product, there's a fall in fashion. What will happen to price and quantity? You know, the fashion is related to demand directly. So there is a fall in fashion in the sense the demand is falling, the supply is at the same level. But demand is falling, supply is at the same level. Demand curve, supply curve, price is this one, quantity is this one, demand is falling means demand shifted to the left. After the demand has shifted to the left, new price is P1, new quantity is Q1. New price P1, the price has fallen down. New quantity Q1, the quantity has fallen down. Understood? Changes in market equilibrium, it's not a hard thing. One sentence in the full concept in the market equilibrium changes because of the change in demand, because of the change in supply, or because of the change in both. After that, over force lane a change you just draw and see. Demand decreased by the supply remains constant, demand increased by the supply remains constant. Every questions were none. So when they are asking this, you just draw and understand. At the same time, parallelly or rendu mood forces same KK. Rendu forces same KK. So for example, a situation they are asking parallelly two forces. So see this. There is a rise in demand faster than fall in supply. There is a rise in demand faster than a fall in supply. It's a very simple case. There is a rise in demand faster than a fall in supply. You know, this is the demand curve, the supply curve, equilibrium price, equilibrium quantity. See this? This is the equilibrium price. Okay. And this is the equilibrium quantity. Rise in demand faster than fall in supply. Demand increase ஆகுது, supply decrease ஆகுது, demand increase ஆகுது faster. So rise in demand faster than fall in supply. So let's see, demand is rising faster than fall in supply. அப்ப new demand curve நாங்க இங்க காட்டுறோம். New demand curve. Earlier it was the demand curve. Now it is the D1. Demand has been shifted to the right. Fall in supply. Supply decrease ஆகுது. Supply decrease ஆகுது. But rise in demand is faster than fall in supply. அப்ப new supply coming like this. Okay. New supply is coming like this. So S and S1. So then new equilibrium is here now. See the new equilibrium. S1 num D1 num cut ஆகிறது. What has happened? Price increased, quantity increased. Okay. Now listen. So what is the result? Price increase, quantity increase. Okay, then. இப்படியும் questions வரும். Right? You must be able to handle the questions similar to this. Is it okay for you all? Any doubts you all have? Okay, students. Now see. Now I am showing you a sample from past paper. So this is 2018 paper question number 10. 2018 paper question number 10. See this. If both demand and supply of tea increases, what will happen to the equilibrium price in tea market? If both demand and supply of tea increase, what will happen to the equilibrium price and quantity in the tea market? Supply now, product is tea. In the market, demand increase ஆகுது, supply increase ஆகுது. இப்போ priceக்கும் quantityக்கும் என்ன நடக்குதுன்னு question. இது மாதிரி நிறைய past papers இருக்கிறது. This is just one sample. But here, one information they have not said. But if both demand and supply of tea increase, what will happen to equilibrium price and quantity? அப்ப demand and supply increase ஆகுதுன்னு சொல்லியிருக்கிறது. But whether they are equally increasing or not mentioned. பாருங்க. For example, the product, the demand curve, supply curve. Okay, price, quantity. Demand is increasing. D1. Supply is increasing. But demand and supply equal increase demand shift the right side. அதே கேப்ல supply shift ஆகுது right side. இப்போ இங்க என்ன நடக்குதுன்னா price constant, quantity increases. Can you understand? Price constant, quantity increases. So according to this question, demand and supply of tea increase. They have not said whether they are equally increasing or not. And first thing நான் எடுத்துக்கிறேன் அப்படின்னா demand and supply of tea equally increase. ரெண்டும் equal increase ஆகினா என்ன result? Price constant, quantity increase. அதே மாதிரி if the demand and supply are not equally increasing, the demand and supply are not equally increasing. See this, demand, supply, both are increasing but not equally. So equilibrium price is there, equilibrium quantity is there, and both are not equally increasing. So see this, demand increases with a smaller amount, supply increases with a larger amount. Now where is the new equilibrium price? New equilibrium price has fallen down, new equilibrium quantity has increased. Price has decreased. Sorry, very sorry. First of all, demand and supply increase equally. Demand and supply equal increase ahina. Demand increase, supply increase, price constant, quantity increases. No. The second situation demand and supply equal illam increase ahina. Demand, supply, price and quantity. Demand increases with a smaller amount, supply increases with a larger amount. இப்ப new equilibrium price decrease ஆகுது, quantity change வருது, quantity increase. The second case price decrease, quantity increase. இப்ப இந்த ரெண்டு conclusionலயும் common ஆனது என்ன? Increasing quantity. The common thing increasing quantity. If they equally change, price is constant. If they have not equally changed, price will change. அப்ப எங்களுக்கு கன்ஃபார்மா சொல்லலாம் குவான்டிட்டியை மட்டும்தான், பிரைஸை சொல்லலாம். அப்ப ஆன்சர் price indeterminate, quantity increases. Fifth தான் சரியான ஆன்சர் ஆகும். அப்ப இது மாதிரி டெக்னிக்ஸ் last moment when you have like 3 months to the exam, theory-ய polish பண்றதோட you must be able to know lots of techniques and tricks to the exam. அந்த டெக்னிக் தெரியாம நீங்க எவ்வளவுதான் தியரியை தெரிஞ்சாலும் you know economics but you don't know how to take research. That's very important. Therefore, இந்த question எப்படியும் handle பண்ணிடும். In order to answer this question, half an hour spend பண்ணிடும். ஆனா 5 minutes answer பண்ற சிஸ்டம் இதுதான். Just understand, ரெண்டும் ஈக்குவலா சேஞ்ச் ஆகினா என்ன நடக்கும், ஈக்குவல் இல்லாம சேஞ்ச் ஆகினா என்ன நடக்கும், ரிசல்ட்ஸை கம்பேர் பண்றது, one force is constant, that is the answer. So it's the method. இது மாதிரி நிறைய மெத்தட்ஸ் ஒவ்வொரு செக்ஷனுக்கு நாங்க அப்ளை பண்ற நேரம் you can easily score more than 30 marks in the MCQ. Okay. So as I told today, I'm stopping the class by 9 o'clock. So then it's 9 o'clock now. Another 1 hour I will do in this week. So please tell your suggestion in which day we are doing, what is the time like that. So according to your suggestion, I will give another 1 hour in this week. That is not tomorrow. Tell me a day. Is it Wednesday or Thursday? Another thing, some students requested to change the class from Monday to some other days. அப்படியும் ஒரு suggestion வந்தது. அப்படி உள்ள opinions கொஞ்சம் சொல்லுங்க. I will talk further things in the group. Okay, the group and personal WhatsApp. So, any doubts to be asked? Okay, students, with this point, I will conclude the session. So, Jazakallah khair for participating, and please make sure that you are revising everything properly, because the intention of this 3 months program is upgrading your results. Even you are at S level, bringing you to the level at least the B. But if you try a little harder, you can go to A. Okay, so it's not a big thing. So work harder, and definitely you can win. Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.